Hello, real deal gang. How are y'all? I'm trying to say something different. Let me start over. Hey, y'all, it's your girl, the real deal. Anita Gill's reaction, and I'm back this afternoon. I'm happy, I'm fresh, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm coming in today with day two trial of Lori Vallow. So I'm gonna give everybody time to get in here and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Um, you haven't joined, please join. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna update on what happened in trial two of Lori Vallow, and maybe we may share Letitia. I get the girl's name mixed up. Tosh trial. We might mix it and we might not mix. I don't know. I'm not gonna mix the trial. Okay, it'll confuse you. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna share my screen with y'all. So everybody having a good evening, night, afternoon, whatever it is in your country. Okay. Just got out from work, y'all, and I thought about y'all. I just quickly just slip the dress on and come on in here, for you all. Okay, share my screen. Let's take a look at the trial. Oh, Lord, hold on for 1 second, y'all. 1 second, okay? Okay, everyone, I'm back. Okay, here we go. Okay.
killed her two youngest children and her new husband's ex-wife after joining an end times cult. Her husband was the cult's leader and is also facing charges in the case. ABC News contributor and host of the Law and Crime Network, Brian Meyer, joining me now for more. Good to see you, Brian. So I know that you've been following these proceedings all day long. What stood out to you so far?
So this morning we got more of the investigation. We're learning that the way the prosecution is playing this out is they're saying, hey, this is how we found out about these children's murder and how we found their body, and they're giving the jury the same timeline. What stuck out to me when we found out the gruesomeness of these murders is, in fact, that there was some testimony that Chad Daybell, supposedly in the backseat of the car, looks back towards this wooded area, and that's where they ended up finding JJ's body. So a little bit of evidence of guilt there.
Now, you heard opening statements yesterday. What stood out to you there?
So the defense is really not providing an alternate story. Their argument is, this isn't conspiracy. This is what aiding and abetting is. Not.
Hold on for 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. 1 second. I got to sit that chair back. Wait, that chair back. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
See this level of information give you, but understand what the requirement is of beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's their defense so far. But it's interesting to see this conspiracy grow with all these dead bodies being found all over the place.
And that's exactly the thing. I mean, it's sort of, we were talking about it just before we came on air. It sort of sounds like a horror film or like a book you're reading this out. It's hard to believe there just seems to be.
Okay, let me see. Can I pick up on the trial? Y'all, it's this case right here. Let me see what happened today. It's more than this. I missed out on it. Let me see, trial day 2. No, there's the jury selection day 2. No, that's not what I want. Hold on, y'all. didn't see this, but it looked like I was watching it on my own. I want to hear what happened in trial day 2. That's what I want to hear. That's what I'm looking for, and I got to find it, y'all. I apologize. You know.
And another story we're covering very closely. The jury in the Lori Vallow Daybell trial is hearing from a third witness in this high-profile case.
Yes, a police detective from Rexburg, Idaho, took the stand describing his
Daybell trial is hearing from a third witness in this high-profile case.
Yes, a police detective from Rexburg, Idaho, took the stand describing his search for Lori's 2 children, who were later found dead on
Ron and Mary, the jury this morning and into the afternoon is hearing from Rexburg Police Detective Ray Hermosillo, who was involved in the investigation into Lori's 2 missing children. Our cameras were rolling this morning when Detective Hermosillo showed up to the Ada County Courthouse. He testified about looking for J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan back in 2019 after J.J.'s grandmother became concerned about where he was. He said that Lori Vallow and her husband Chad Daybell were not cooperating. He also testified that police found guns, a camouflage suit, and a Halloween mask in Lori's garage in Rexburg.
What?
And he described the gruesome discovery of the children's remains on Chad Daybell's property. This is day 2 of the jury hearing from witnesses in this case. JJ's grandfather, Larry Woodcock, stopped briefly to talk with reporters.
It's going to be a hard day, I think. But, we will see. We're already warned. I hope everybody here has had a very nice sleep, rested well, and we're here to continue this saga and look forward to it.
So far this morning, several hours of testimony from this Rexburg police detective. The court is on a lunch recess right now. They'll be back here in session at 12:45, where the detective continues to testify. Live in Boise, Daniel Woodruff, KUTV2.
Okay, let me see. Have they came for lunch, y'all? Let's see what they came from lunch, because I'm so dying to hear it. Let me see. See, that was the other day.
Now streaming on Paramount Plus.
Let's have an adventure together.
Okay, hold on. Okay, we did it.
fingers. The FBI is now calling on Yellowstone is wild and it's vast and it's teeming with peril. You have wild carnivores, you have deep forests, you have white waters.
Morgan Lowe. Lori Daybell has 2 missing children. Lori Daybell is connected to suspicious death that has a black cloud.
Hold up, y'all. I don't want to see that. Y'all can go there. So I'm trying to get to the news, y'all. I done missed out on something today. Now I had to work today, so I don't missed out on a whole lot. I missed out on a whole lot today. So this is supposed to be day 2 of the trial. Day 2 in the Vallow trial. So let me see what I got here. See, exactly. I just did this. Okay, we seen this. Okay. 2 hours. Okay, I do. That coat mom.
(11624) State of Idaho versus Noreen Vallow. This is time scheduled for jury trial. Court would note the prosecution is here as well as the defense.
We did this.
We'll do more formal introductions here in a moment. The court would note a couple of things. I think the parties have already been advised, as well as all those in attendance. There are some conduct orders that are in effect, both governing conduct within the
That's day 1 we did. Day 1, y'all. I don't even have nothing for day 2.
All right, simulcast. All right, we will go on the record on this matter, KC. 22-21-1624, State of Idaho versus Noreen Vallow. This is the time scheduled for jury trial. The court would note the prosecution is here as well as the defense and the defendant. We'll do more formal introductions here in a moment. The court would note a couple of things. I think the parties have already been advised, as well as all those in attendance. There are some conduct orders that are in effect, both governing conduct within the building, pursuant to an administrative order of Administrative District Judge Hippler, as well as a courtroom conduct order that I've issued for both this courtroom 400, as well as the locations where the simulcast is taking place here in Ada County, as well as in Madison County. Importantly, in this courtroom, courtroom 400, I wanted to reemphasize that no re-entry is allowed if you leave during the proceedings. There will be scheduled breaks in the morning and the afternoon and a lunch break, but if for some reason you need to leave while the case is going, then likely you will not be permitted to return to your seat. And secondly, and I will note that in those other simulcast locations, that is not the case. The parties can come and go from those rooms, or observers. On the electronic devices, no electronic devices are allowed in these proceedings, and any of the locations I just mentioned to record, photograph, or transmit any sounds or images while this trial is going. So there is, of course, a record being kept every day through the administrative process of the courts, and that will contain the court's audio purposes of the record case. At this point, I'll just briefly inquire, is the state ready to proceed at this time and have the jury brought in?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Blake. Is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Archibald. At this point, then, Ms. Bailiff, if you please bring the jurors in. We always admonish people, don't spend that whole 10 hours all at one place. So that's
These days,
Hold on, yeah. Hold on for 1 second. I want to pull some. I'm trying to catch up, y'all, because I'm doing a lot. Here we go. Here, Kate. I know I need to get. Let me look this up. I had to look it up. Hold on, y'all. Kate. They do. Look, Kate, take the stand. Okay. Let me do this. Let's see what Kate talking about. That's the grandmother. Okay. JJ grandmother. Yes, testify. Court. Okay. This is JJ grandmother, okay? Let me get this commercial out of here. So I know a commercial about to come on. Oh, no, they did good. Okay, here we go.
Thank you. The state calls Kay Woodcock.
Ms. Woodcock, if you'd please come forward, and I'll have you pause out here when you get to the middle and raise your right hand. All right, if you'd please pause there for a moment, raise your right hand, and I'll have you placed under oath. Okay, you can be seated in the witness box up here. All right, counsel, before you inquire, just to make clear, we are making a stenographic record of the proceedings. Please answer questions verbally with a yes or a no instead of gestures. Try not to talk at the same time as anyone asking you a question. And with that in mind, Mr. Wood, you may inquire.
Thank you.
Okay, let me see how this goes. Okay, let me keep going.
Would you state your name for the court and spell out your last name?
Ethel Kathleen Vallow Woodcock. I go by Kay. Last name is Woodcock.
Thank you. Ms. Woodcock, where do you reside?
Lake Charles, Louisiana.
How long have you lived there?
All my life, pretty much.
All right. Ms. Woodcock, do you have any children?
Yes.
How many do you have?
2.
Have either of those children ever had a child they were unable to care for?
If you just want to play the really sort of bent with that theory, and you really
Please answer that. Which of those children had this child they couldn't care for?
My son, Dennis Todd Trahan.
And what was the
Maybe I need a new plus.
I don't know if that's
It's not mobile.
I'm wondering if it's working. Okay, it is picking up the signal, so
Okay.
if you could just try to, I guess, speak right into it, hopefully
Yeah.
I can pick you up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What was the name of the child who had the child they couldn't care for?
Dennis Todd Trahan.
Tell me about that situation. What occurred?
He and his girlfriend, Mandy Lachey, had issues, and she got pregnant. They couldn't take care of them. Canaan, JJ. He was born. When he was born with drugs in the system.
Okay. When was this child born?
May 25th, 2012.
Okay. And what was the child's name?
Canaan Todd Trahan.
Thank you. Now you stated he had drugs in the system. Were there any other complications?
He was born at 30 weeks. That's 10 weeks premature. He had a myriad of issues. I can't, I'm not a doctor, I can't explain all of them, but he was in neonatal ICU for 7 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks.
Okay. After he left the hospital, where did he live?
He came home with myself and my husband Larry.
Okay. And can you say Larry's name for the record?
Larry James Woodcock.
Okay. And why did he come home with you?
The state took custody of Canaan when he was born because of the drugs in the system, and we were deemed as his caregivers until they gave the Todd and Mandy a chance to work out their plan that they would help them try and become, independent.
Okay. Were Todd and Mandy ever able to regain custody of Canaan?
No.
Okay. How long did you have Canaan?
We got him in early July of 2012, and Charles and Lori got him in mid-February of 2013.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Who is Charles?
My brother,
What is his full name?
Leland Charles Anthony Vallow,
Okay. And who is Lori?
his wife,
Okay. And what was her name?
Lori,
Full name?
well, when I knew her, it was Lori Ryan, so Lori Ryan Vallow.
Okay. Is Lori Vallow in this courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to where she's sitting and describe what she's wearing for the court?
She's sitting there at the defendant's table, I guess in a black jacket.
Okay. Your Honor, the state would ask the court to take notice that the defendant?
So no, I'm correct.
So let's go back. You stated that you had Kanan until around February of 2013. And I believe you stated that Charles and Lori took Kanan at that point.
Yes.
Why did they take Kanan?
They were granted legal custody.
Okay. Did you ask them to take custody of Kanan?
No. Actually, it was Charles Charles and Lori approached us, and Larry and I were going to be given the option to adopt them first before anyone, and then Charles and Lori approached us saying they'd love to adopt him if, he was talked very gingerly about it because it was a very sensitive subject. And we, was like, look, we'll think about it, but, we just have to think about this. That's a big decision. And,
Okay. Why did, in the end, did Charles and Lori adopt Kanan?
yes.
And why did you feel, or why did you allow that to happen?
They seemed, well, number one, Charles wanted, I need to back this up with that other question, if I may. They wanted to have a child of their own. He had 2 kids, she had 2 kids. They wanted to have a child together. Anyway, sorry, ask your question again.
Why did you allow Charles and Lori to adopt Kanan?
They had a much different lifestyle than Larry and I did. All we did was work and work and go home. They were a busy lifestyle. They were very family oriented. Lori was active in the community. Charles was active. They were very active in the church. She just seemed to be the kind of mom that every mom wants to be.
Okay.
Recordings just stopped.
Take place. Okay. When Kanan was adopted, did he move from Lake Charles, Louisiana?
Yes.
Where did he go?
They moved to Chandler, Arizona.
Okay.
Where they were living.
And is that in Maricopa County?
Yes.
When Kanan was adopted, did his name change?
Yes.
Do you know what his name's changed to?
Joshua Jackson Vallow.
Okay. And did Joshua go by a nickname?
JJ.
Okay. So, just for clarity's sake, I'll refer to him as JJ from here on out.
Okay.
Did you and Larry Woodcock maintain a relationship with JJ after he was adopted?
Yes, actually, that was a condition of the adoption. Was that we had to maintain access to him and maintain our grandparent role, which they were very glad. They were good with that. Charles and Lori.
Okay. And so JJ was living in Chandler, Arizona, and you were in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Yes.
How often did you see JJ?
Every chance we could.
Okay, and how often was that?
We flew out there every. I know when they left with him in February of 13, we were out there less than a month later because we were having a very hard time detaching from him. We missed him really badly. But then anytime, it averaged about every 3 months when they were in Arizona that we were able to go visit.
Okay. After they adopted JJ, did Lori and Charles ever move from Arizona?
Yes, they moved to Hawaii.
Okay. Where in Hawaii did they move?
Princeville,
Okay. Do you know what island that's on?
Hawaii.
Once they moved to Hawaii, were you able to maintain contact with JJ?
Yes.
Approximately how often would you maintain contact with JJ?
Since Hawaii was a much bigger flight, a much longer flight to get to, so yes, I went, averaged out every 5 to 6 months, and I would stay, or if Larry was with me, we would stay like at least a week and maybe 10 days, a week to 10 days.
Okay. Did you have any other type of contact with JJ? Through phones or digital contact?
Uh, when he learned to FaceTime, yes, he FaceTimed us all the time.
Okay.
And the phone too. He would call us all the time.
All right. What was your relationship like with Charles and Lori?
It was good. I mean, Charles and I were very close. He was my brother, and we always got along. We were very close. And Lori, she was just a doll. We were good friends. We talked, all the time. I mean, we didn't make a lot of phone calls between each other, but when we saw each other, it was very, it was like we had missed a day of not talking.
Okay. Did you ever spend time with other members of her family?
Yes.
Okay. Did Lori have any other children?
Yes.
Do you recall who they were?
Yes. Colby Ryan and Tyler Ryan.
Okay. Who was oldest?
Colby.
Okay. Did you ever meet other members of Lori's family?
Yes, there were some birthday parties and things, maybe 4th of July stuff, but yes, I did.
Who do you recall meeting?
Her parents, Barry and Janice Cox. She had a brother, Alex Cox, and her other brother, Adam Cox.
Okay. Anybody else in the family you recall meeting?
That I recall.
Okay. You mentioned Alex Cox. Do you know approximately how many times you met Alex Cox?
A handful of times, maybe. Sometimes he would stay with them, and so I would see him when I would visit.
Okay. To your knowledge, is Alex Cox living or deceased?
Deceased.
Do you know approximately when that happened?
December 12th, 2019.
Okay. Did Charles and Lori ever move back from Hawaii?
Yes.
When was that?
It was around Christmas or New Year's of 2016.
Okay. And did you maintain a visit? Did you continue to visit JJ in Arizona when you got back?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Did you ever see Tylee at the home?
We did. Excuse me. Yes, she was around there. She was being her good little sister self to JJ. Um, she would often go to her grandparents while we were there. I don't know why that was, but and as she got older, she was busy with her friends and stuff. But absolutely, we spent time together.
Okay. What did you observe in the relationship between Lori and JJ?
I witnessed. She was a doting mom. She was very engaged. She was. I know one time when we went, he was probably a year old. She had a photo album, and she had pictures in it, and she had pictures of me and Larry and other people, and she was reinforcing that we were his grandparents. She would point to him and say, "That's Mama," and point to the next picture, "That's Papa." And she was a good mom for everything I could see.
Okay. What did you observe in the relationship between Charles and JJ?
Charles was hands-on. He was engaged. He took a lot of when Charles was traveling for business, Lori had him all to herself. But when Charles got home from his businesses, he had JJ all the time.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you about the year 2019. Do you recall the first time you saw JJ in 2019?
It was right around the 1st of February.
Okay. Where was that?
In in Chandler, in the Phoenix area, one of the Maricopa County.
Okay. So is Chandler in the Phoenix, the general Phoenix area?
It's a suburb, yes.
Okay. Do you recall how long you stayed there?
That time was about probably 2 weeks.
Okay. Was there a specific reason you had come out to visit that time?
Yes, Charles reached out that he and Lori had split up, that she was gone, and he was totally very distraught. So I went to, excuse me, I went to help him with JJ. And
Object, this is hearsay evidence that's coming in.
I haven't heard any hearsay yet.
Haven't heard that yet either. Do we have water for the witness?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you needed any. I couldn't see if you had any down there, but feel free to take that. Have that ready.
What's going on? Hearsay? No. It's not supposed to be hearsay, y'all. Come on. Let's get rid of this commercial.
Motion's overruled.
So, Ms. Woodcock, you had stated that you were in the process of saying that you were out there because Lori was gone.
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware of where Lori was?
No.
To your knowledge, was Charles aware of where Lori was?
No.
Okay. Did you see Lori at all while you were there?
No.
Okay. You stated you were there for a couple of weeks. Did you take JJ with you after that at all?
Yes, I brought him home to Louisiana with me. Charles needed to go to work, so, and we were ready to have him in Louisiana.
Okay. Approximately how long did you have him in Louisiana?
Probably a week, maybe two. We during that time frame, from like February 1st to the end of March, we were back and forth to Louisiana to Phoenix, to Louisiana to Phoenix with JJ. You know, just busy trying to help Charles get things squared away.
I'm sorry, I might have missed it. Did you mention a time frame in which you were going back and forth between Louisiana?
Yes, from February 1st of 2019 and all through the end of March of 2019.
Okay. Did you stop going to Arizona?
Yes.
Why was that?
Because we moved Charles to Houston. Charles and JJ.
Okay. And when Charles and JJ moved to Houston, was Lori with them?
No.
Okay. Why did Charles move to Houston, to your knowledge?
So we could help him. He didn't have any family in Arizona. It was all just her family. JJ needed good schools, which they have in Houston. We didn't really have any in Lake Charles. And Lake Charles is 2.5 hours from Houston. We would be able to, whenever Charles would go out of town, took work. He was gone maybe 3 days when he would go to work. And that way I could be in Houston with JJ while Charles was gone, and he wouldn't be with a stranger, and I could get him back and forth to school and just take care of him while Charles would be working.
Okay. Approximately how far is it between Houston and Lake Charles, Louisiana?
150 miles.
Okay, so that's a drive that you can do.
Yeah, just straight down I-10.
Okay. And did you ever have occasion to go to Houston and stay with JJ while Charles was gone?
Yes.
Okay. How many times did you do that?
There was once Charles moved there like March 31st of 2019, and he did need to get some work. He needed to go to work. So I went to Houston and stayed with JJ for probably 3 days. I think it was that time. And Charles went and did his work. JJ and we had a good time.
Okay. I'm just going to briefly ask you a few questions about Charles's business. What did he do?
He was a financial planner. He mostly sold annuities.
Okay. At any time, did you become involved in helping Charles with his business?
Yes.
When was that?
In February of 2019.
So in the same time period we've been discussing.
Yes.
Why did you start helping Charles with his business?
He asked me to help him out because he couldn't, he was very distraught with Lori for one thing, for their separation. And he just needed help. I helped him with his payroll, his accounts payable, receivable. My husband Larry and I owned a business, so I was very familiar with the workings of a business or being self-employed. And so I did what I could to help him.
Okay. And so through this help, did you have access to Charles' banking information?
Yes.
Did you have access to his emails?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have access to other financial information?
Yes.
Okay. Did anything happen in April that changed the situation and arrangement you had with Charles?
Yes.
What was that?
Lori went to Houston, moved to Houston with Charles and JJ.
Okay. Can you state that again to be clear for the record?
Charles and Lori moved to Houston with Charles and JJ.
Okay. And you said that was sometime in April of 2019.
Yes.
Okay. After that, did you continue to see JJ in the Houston or Lake Charles area at all?
Oh, yes. Often.
Okay. How often?
Every weekend he would come, or every other weekend, just whenever he could get away, he would bring JJ, and they would come for the weekend, which we were more than happy to have them.
Okay. Did Lori stay in Houston? Are you aware if Lori stayed in Houston?
As in,
Did she stay? I apologize. Did she continue to live in Houston?
As far as I knew, she was go to Phoenix and around. I don't know exactly what time Charles would come sometimes and say, well, Lori's gone this weekend, or, she went to do this weekend. I don't remember the specifics.
Okay. Did she move from Houston?
Yes, in June of 19, Charles secured her home in Chandler, which is a suburb of Phoenix.
Okay. And when Lori moved back to the Phoenix area, where was Charles staying at that time?
He wasn't staying there. He still had a home in Houston, but when he would get a hotel.
Okay. At that time, to your knowledge, are you aware if Charles was intending to divorce Lori?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if he was ever able to finalize that divorce?
No.
Okay. To your knowledge, is Charles Vallow alive or deceased?
He's dead.
Do you know the date he died?
July 11th, 2019.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Charles Vallow have a life insurance policy?
Yes.
Did you ever have an occasion to speak with him about that policy?
Yes.
When was that?
In February of 2019, he approached me and said he wanted to name me the beneficiary. It was $1 million policy, and he wanted to name me beneficiary and take Lori off.
Okay. Did you ask him to name you as the beneficiary?
No.
Okay. During that conversation, did you commit to doing anything with that life insurance policy money if you were the beneficiary?
Yes.
What did you commit to do with that money?
To finish raising JJ because Lori didn't want him anymore.
And did you commit to doing anything else with that money?
Yes, he had asked me to give half of it to his 2 adult sons, which I did.
Okay.
Damn.
Did you ever have another conversation with Charles about that life insurance policy?
Get down.
Um,
Oh, oh, man. Jesus.
I can't remember at this moment. It might come to me in a minute. I'm sorry.
That's okay. But is there a remember having another conversation with him?
I don't remember right at this moment.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I do
You're
remember
able to
that.
hearsay she did have a conversation with him. The existence of a conversation isn't hearsay.
All right, Mr. Wood, why don't you ask another question? There's a pending objection, but I don't know that this would be responsible for this, so if you'd re-ask.
Okay.
Stop.
We've got another question.
Okay.
Didn't I say stop?
After Charles's death, did you receive the benefit of insurance policy?
Yes, it was unexpected because I never knew. I never followed up with Charles to see if he had changed me to his beneficiary. But yes, I did. It was probably within a week of his death.
Okay. And how did you find out about that?
The insurance company called me.
Okay. Did Lori Vallow ever contact you about the life insurance policy?
Yes.
Do you know what number she texted you from? Or let me rephrase that. How did she contact you?
Through a text.
And do you recall what number she texted you from?
No.
Did you have her saved as a contact in your phone?
Yes, she actually had 2 numbers in my phone.
Okay. And do you know what those 2 numbers are?
Yes. Can I have a paper with it on it?
Do you remember those numbers off of the top of your head?
No.
In anticipation of the day, did you make a record of what those numbers were if you couldn't remember it?
Yes.
Would it refresh your memory to look?
Great ideas.
Ooh, we love, sex, and money. That's all this is. I knew it with insurance involved. I knew it. I knew it. Grandparent. Sure, y'all ain't got nothing to do with it.
Between
Charles was hands-on. He was engaged. He took a lot of. When Charles was traveling for business, Lori had him all to herself. But when Charles got home from his businesses, he had JJ all the time.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you about the year 2019. Do you recall the first time you saw JJ in 2019?
It was right around the 1st of February.
Okay. Where was that?
In Chandler, or in the Phoenix area, one of the Maricopa County.
Okay. So is Chandler in the Phoenix, the general Phoenix area?
It's a suburb, yes.
Okay. Do you recall how long you stayed there?
That time was about probably 2 weeks.
Okay. Was there a specific reason you would come out to visit that time?
Yes, Charles reached out that he and Lori had split up, that she she was gone, and he was totally very distraught. So I went to, excuse me, I went to help him with JJ. And
Judge Harris is hearsay. Evidence that's coming in. Your Honor, I haven't heard any hearsay yet.
Haven't heard that yet either. Do we have water for the witness?
yeah,
Okay. I didn't know if you needed any. I couldn't see if you had any down there, but feel free to take that and have that ready. All right, objections overruled.
So, Ms. Woodcock, you had stated that you were in the process of saying that you were out there because Lori was gone.
yes,
Were you aware of where Lori was?
no,
To your knowledge, was Charles aware of where Lori was?
no,
Okay. Did you see Lori at all while you were there?
no.
Okay. You stated you were there for a couple of weeks. Did you take JJ with you after that at all?
Yes, I brought him home to Louisiana with me. Charles needed to go to work, so, and we were ready to have him in Louisiana.
Okay. Approximately how long did you have him in Louisiana?
Probably a week, maybe two. We during that time frame, from like February 1st to the end of March, we were back and forth to Louisiana to Phoenix, to Louisiana to Phoenix with JJ. Just busy trying to help her put things squared away.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you mention a time frame in which you were going back and forth between Louisiana?
Yes, between February 1st of 2019, and all through the end of March of 2019.
Okay. Did you stop going to Arizona?
Yes.
Why was that?
Because we moved Charles to Houston. Charles and JJ.
Okay. And when Charles and JJ moved to Houston, was Lori with them?
No.
Okay. Why did Charles move to Houston, to your knowledge?
So we could help him. Well, he didn't have any family in Arizona. It was all just her family. JJ needed good schools, which they had in Houston. We didn't really have any in Lake Charles. And Lake Charles and Houston, we would be able to, whenever Charles would go out of town to work, he was gone maybe 3 days when he would go to work. And that way I could be in Houston with JJ while Charles was gone, and he wouldn't be with a stranger, and I could get him back and forth to school and just be Charles Street.
Approximately how far is it between Lake Charles, Louisiana?
150 miles.
Okay, so that's a drive that you can do.
Yeah, just straight down I-10.
Okay. And did you ever have occasion to go to Houston and stay with JJ while Charles was gone?
Yes.
Okay. How many times did you do that?
There was once Charles moved there like March 31st of 2019, and he did need to get some work. He needed to go to work, so I went to Houston and stayed with JJ for probably 3 days. I think it was that time. And Charles went and did his work. JJ and we had a good time.
Okay. I'm just going to briefly ask you a few questions about Charles's business. What did he do?
He was a financial planner. He mostly sold annuities.
Okay. At any time, did you become involved in helping Charles with his business?
Yes.
When was that?
In February 2019.
So in the same time period we've been discussing.
Yes.
Why did you start helping Charles with his business?
He asked me to help him out because he couldn't. He was very distraught with Lori for one thing, for their separation, and he just needed help. I helped him with his payroll, his accounts payable, receivable. My husband Larry and I owned a business, so I was very familiar with the workings of a a business or being self-employed, and so I did what I could to help him.
Okay. And so through this help, did you have access to Charles' banking information?
Yes.
Did you have access to his emails?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have access to uh, other financial information?
Yes.
Okay. Did anything happen in April that changed the situation and arrangement you had with Charles?
Yes.
What was that?
Lloyd, uh, went to Houston, moved to Houston with Charles and JJ.
Okay. Can you state that again to be clear for the record?
Charles and Lori moved to Houston with Charles and JJ.
Okay. And you said that was sometime in April of 2019.
Yes.
Okay. After that, did you continue to see JJ in the Houston or Lake Charles area at all?
Oh yes, often.
Okay. How often?
Every weekend he would come, or every other weekend, just whenever he could get away, he would bring JJ, and they would come for the weekend, which we were more than happy to have them.
Okay. Did Lori stay in Houston? Are you aware of where he stayed? Thank you. Your Honor, the state would ask to hand the defendant State's Exhibit 2. It's another self-authenticating document. While it is the document itself, the state did prepare a courtesy copy for court and counsel.
All right, the witness can be handed the exhibit, and I'll review the courtesy copy.
May I publish it to jury? This is Woodcock. You stated that was a birth certificate?
Yes.
Your Honor, with the lighting on that, I don't know if it's all right, I'll just have the bailiff hand this back to the witness. It's impossible to read with the glare.
Okay.
Can you state again what that document is?
Louisiana birth certificate.
Who is it for?
Joshua Jackson Vallow.
And who are the listed parents?
Leland Charles Anthony Vallow and Lori Noreen Cox.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd ask that what's been marked as State's Exhibit 4 be handed to the witness. Courtesy copy for the court and defense.
Very well.
Vallow's whereabouts.
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall what date that happened?
November 8th.
Where were you?
At home, Lake Charles.
In Lake Charles. Okay. How did you become aware of Lori Vallow's whereabouts?
I had a printer that was Charles's. When we cleaned out his house in Houston, one of his sons and my family went to pack it up to vacate the house. And nobody wanted the printer, so I said, okay, I'll take it home. And it sat on my table for a couple of months. And on November the 7th, I decided it was time to hook it up to my computer. And I was having trouble with the scanner, so I was quite aggravated with it. So I went to bed and left it alone to look at it with a fresh eye in the morning. And I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and I just had to go. Something was telling me to go work on that scanner. And when I got to my computer, I noticed that if you have Gmail, there's when you log on it, there's a whatever icon you want it to be in the top right of your screen. And I saw Charles's icon, for his Gmail on my computer screen. So I don't know how it was there, but it was there. And so I clicked on it, and it brought me to his Gmail to sign in. And
Were you able to sign into that Gmail account?
yes,
Did you have access to Charles's passwords?
yes, he had 3 favorite passwords, and the first one I used worked.
And had he provided you those passwords?
Yes.
Okay. When you opened up that Gmail account, what did you see?
There was a bunch of emails, but one that stuck out specifically was an Amazon, like a delivery status, like an ordered status email.
Okay. Where was that delivery to?
It was to 575 Pioneer Road, apartment 175 in Rexburg, Idaho.
Do you recall the date of that delivery?
It was probably a couple of days before November 8th. I don't remember specifically.
But it was after July 11th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that delivery, was that associated with a specific company?
It was with Amazon.
Okay. What did you do after you saw that notification?
I called Brandon Boudreaux was first, and then law enforcement, and I do believe I talked to our private investigator as well. I talked to numerous people that day regarding it because I was shocked at what I found.
Okay. Did you look further into that Amazon account?
Yes, I got into the browsing history in the Amazon account, and I saw that there was browsing for a beach wedding dress, a bathing suit, men's large size, I think it was large, white linen top and pants, and malachite wedding rings. And there were a couple other little odd man things, I believe, maybe flip-flops or something.
Was there a date associated with that browsing history that you saw?
Yes.
What date was that?
October 2nd.
Of what year?
2019.
Was there a reason that caught your attention?
Yes, because I had learned before that Tammy Daybell had passed away on October the 19th. And this was her looking at wedding rings and wedding stuff on
I'm
October.
going to stop you there. When you said she was looking at wedding rings, who did you believe was looking at wedding rings?
Laurie.
Okay. And is there anything else about that browsing history that caused you concern or caught your attention?
Not thinking of anything else.
Okay.
No.
Did you become aware at any time that the Rexburg police were looking for JJ?
Yes.
Did you ever meet with the Rexburg police?
I met with them in January 2020.
Okay. Did you ever go to Rexburg, Idaho?
Yes.
Prior to this situation, had you ever heard of Rexburg, Idaho?
Never.
Did you put out a reward in aid of the search for JJ?
Yes, at the advice of a FBI.
Okay. Did you ever do interview?
Object to relevance on that last question. I asked it be stricken for the record. Well, the answer came before an objection was lodged, so it's not timely, so it's overruled.
Did you ever do interviews with news outlets to publicize the search for JJ?
Objection relevancy. What's the relevance, Mr. Wood?
Just to lay the foundation of what Mrs. Woodcock was doing, looking for a missing child, Your Honor.
The objection's overruled. You can answer.
When we went in January of 2020, the media had learned of the story of the kids missing, and we reached out, and every media outlet was all over this, and we talked to every outlet we could. We appeared on talk shows. We did everything we could to raise awareness for the kids missing.
Okay. Around this time, did you ever become aware if Lori Vallow had remarried?
I did, yes.
Do you know who she had married?
Yes.
Who was that?
Chad Daybell.
So you testified you went to Rexburg in January of 2020.
Yes.
Did you ever see JJ there?
No.
Were you ever informed that JJ and Tylee were found?
Yes.
When was that?
June 9, 2020.
Do you know where they were located?
Yes.
Where were they located?
In Chad Daybell's backyard, buried in shallow graves.
Okay. Your Honor, the state has no further questions at this time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Wood. Let's make sure we've got all the exhibits that were admitted to the court clerk, and then Mr. Thomas, you can conduct your cross-examination.
How you doing today?
Good.
So, when JJ was born, this was your son, right? That he was born to?
Yes.
Okay. And your son couldn't take care of JJ due to personal issues, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then it came into your custody?
Yes.
And you were kind of like, I guess not kind of like, you were a foster parent, right?
Caregiver.
Caregiver?
Yes.
Foster parent, or I don't know how it works in Louisiana.
Temporary placement.
Okay. And generally, what my understanding is, and what we do here in Idaho is we try to reunite with the parents. Is that what was going on with JJ?
Yes.
Okay. And you kept him, I believe you said from July until about February, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And sometime between July and February, there was a conversation between you and your brother Charles, right?
Yes.
About the adoption or the possible adoption of JJ.
Yes.
And Charles is your older brother?
Yes.
He's about 5 years older than you?
Yes.
And tell me again why it is that you didn't want to adopt JJ.
We really wanted to adopt JJ, and we could have provided him a good home. But when speaking with Charles and Lori, they just had their atmosphere was a lot more conducive to a baby. He was he had issues. I call him Canaan when we had him, and JJ after. So if I use either, that's the difference. So with Canaan, in Lake Charles, there were no special schools for children with disabilities, and that we knew that was going to be a concern at some point. Lori and Charles just seemed to have the right they had the right. Let me see. Okay, let me back up. Although Charles was 5 years older than me, Charles could run circles around a 25-year-old. Okay, and because Lori was, I believe, 17 years younger than him, so the age in that aspect didn't matter. And my husband Larry at that time was 65, and we knew how much, raising children, because he has 4 and I had 2, and we knew that it was going to be a lot. And his brother, Larry's brother, was raising an autistic grandchild, and that it just the atmosphere that we had to offer in ways of stimulating a kid, bringing them to the park, or going out with their friends, or him having friends over, just things like that. Lori and Charles seemed to have a better place. They were a better placement for him.
Right. Okay. And what you wanted was the best thing for Kanan or JJ, right?
That's what we thought. Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that Larry had a brother who was raising an autistic child. JJ or Kanan or JJ, they were also autistic, correct?
I don't think he was diagnosed at that time, but he did have disabilities.
Okay. But you learned later that JJ was diagnosed with autism?
Yes.
You talked a little bit on the with the prosecuting attorney, about you working with Charles when he had split with Lori, right?
Yes.
And that happened. His split. He filed for divorce in February of 2019. You remember that?
Yes.
And that's when he flew out to Chandler.
Yeah, it was before I filed, I believe, but it was right at that time.
Okay, all right. But he ended up pulling that back or quashing that suit, right?
Yes.
So they were going to get back together?
Charles was hoping, but Lloyd was nowhere around.
Okay. And that was in February?
Yes, he just couldn't go through it at that time.
And at that time, Charles had taken JJ with him to Houston, right?
At the end of March, yes.
The end of March.
Okay, yes.
Is that right?
Yes, but Lori did pop back up like March 28th. We were in the middle of packing him to move, and she came walking in the house like she hadn't been gone, and she was yelling at Charles to, why did you take JJ, and what are you doing, and why are you moving, and just, it was ridiculous. Anyway, yes.
And you recorded the conversation?
I did.
Yeah. And that was a private conversation between Lori and her husband at the time?
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't know. I was in the next room. Her friend Melanie Gibb was in the next room, and we could all hear it.
You were in the kitchen,
Yeah.
right? And they were in another room?
They were right there in the dining room.
Okay. And so Charles ended up moving to Houston, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that Lake Charles wasn't a good place for the schools that JJ would need to be in, and so that it was decided that he was going to live in Houston because that was a better place for him.
Correct.
And you said that since Charles had to work a lot, you were going to go to Houston to watch JJ while Charles was off on business trips and whatnot?
Yes, or we would get him and bring him home too, just whatever worked best for us.
Okay. And how far was it from Houston to, or not Houston, Katy, Texas, right? That's where they lived?
Yeah, 150 miles.
150 miles.
Yeah.
If Google says that it took about 6 hours, to drive it, would that make any sense to you?
No,
No? How long did it take to drive it?
an hour, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's to go from Lake Charles all the way through Houston and to the other side where Katy was?
Katy, 150 miles. Houston is about 80 miles around. It's huge.
Mhm.
And so 150 miles was like to a major airport. In the general vicinity, yes, Katy may have been another 10 or 20 miles, but regardless, 2.5 hours, depending on what time of day you went.
So when you drove it, it took you about 2.5 hours to drive it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And you indicated that the state asked you, or Mr. Wood asked you, about why you became concerned about the whereabouts of JJ, and you said because Lori didn't want him anymore. Is that right? Did you remember saying that?
Yes.
Okay. And what led you to believe that Lori did not want JJ anymore?
Because when a mother leaves their child, she left her husband and she left her child for 58 days, and I know it was 58 days because Charles counted every day and would tell me every day. She never reached out to JJ. She didn't reach out to Charles. And
Were you with him the entire 58 days?
I was with him a lot of the 58 days. Out of 58 days, I probably was with him well over a month.
So more than 30 days?
Yes.
And during those 30 days, you didn't hear from Lori?
No.
Okay. But you're not aware of times that she may have called and talked to Charles or JJ between that time that you weren't there? You don't have any specific knowledge, right?
Not that he told me, no.
Okay.
Wow.
May I say something?
No, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You know,
I just
Mr. Wood will be able to
Okay.
redirect you. Something interesting. On November the 8th, you indicate that you had packed up Charles's house previously and nobody wanted the printer, and so you took the printer back to your house. You recall that?
Yes.
And then you said that you were having trouble with the scanner portion of it, so you just went to bed.
Yes.
And then you woke up at 4:30 in the morning, and what was that like? Tell me a little bit about that. Was that what kind of experience was that?
It was weird because I never woke up at 4:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to wake up at 4:30 in the morning with that scanner on my mind and having to get that was really weird because I never worked waking that much. But it was bothering me, I guess. So I think it was divine intervention because of what I found when I logged on, when I got everything hooked up. And
Sure. What do you mean by divine intervention? What do you mean?
just God's hand.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Wood, do you have any redirected witness?
State
has no further questions.
That was Kay Woodcock. That was JJ grandmother. They're really her nephew because her brother is Charles. But I can understand her in a situation where she can't take care of the baby, take care of him due to his disabilities. I can understand that. No, y'all. Just listen to her testimony. Kept redirected me towards her because she has Charles' business. She has his money. She has everything. But she said we would have kept JJ. We didn't have no problem keeping JJ. So if y'all love JJ so much, and your brother left the money so you can take care of JJ, why is JJ no longer here with us? Now I see Lauren, that's not Lauren's son. They had me thinking that JJ was Lauren's son, but that's his adopted mother. And the daddy Charles is his father. But the grandmother has all the Charles business. All right, y'all. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I put a question right here. I'm gonna leave it alone. And if y'all want to answer it, you can put it down in the comment section. Do you think the grandparents know more than they say? I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me. But let me change something, y'all. Let me put some up and I'm gonna edit something very quick. Woo! I did my leg. Woo, all right, y'all. I'm not gonna hold you up. I got work. I'm busy over here on this computer with my channel. Hello, guys. Okay, this was gonna be the problem. I'm surprised the jury didn't have nothing to say. I'm surprised the jury didn't have any questions to ask her. I'm surprised. They go on there. The jury didn't have no question to ask the grandmother. Now I can understand. Charles is her brother, so I can understand her age. At her age, I think she said she was older than Charles. I can't remember. I try not to remember, but I can understand that taking care of a kid with a disability can be hefty on a person when they're not used to that. It's different. It's a different process. It's a different mind game. And if you ain't ready for it, then. But I wondered was the grandmother jealous? Well, really that's her nephew, but she adopted, so I'm gonna say mother. But she gave him to Lori and Charles. Okay, my thing is, how they know Lori can handle his disability? How? But y'all like, share, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. I put day 2 trial, Laura Vallow, JJ grandmother, Kate Woodcock. Taste the Stand. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you think, in the comment. We just have a reaction. It's just a reaction channel. Whatever you think is whatever you think. Like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't joined the channel, please join the channel. Anybody interested in becoming a mod? Well, I can fit my mod, but it can't be. You have to be able to be here every time I go live. And I don't have time to call you either. Okay, y'all, I'm out.